Touch New Zealand's coverage of the Premier Touch League is brought to you by SAS Sport and One Foundation. It's the Premier Touch League.
Kia ora e te iwi. This is the third game of the morning and we've been waiting for this one. Joining me is Liana. I'm Hikapene. This is the Auckland Metro taking on the Manukau Raiders women's team, and it's a beautiful day down here in Te Waipounamu, Liana.
Yeah, that's right, and we might be here in the south, but this is really a North Island clash, isn't it? The Raiders taking on the Metro side. A lot of these girls play each other regularly, weekly, against clubs and province, so interested to see how the different lineups play out today.
And here's your women's Metro team. We have Latoya Tainui McIntyre, Kimara Tagaloa, younger sister Aria Tainui McIntyre, look out for her. Lagahitau Solomona Potts from the Waikato, Smith, Sharp, Anderson, Karina, Edmonds, Clements, and that is your Auckland Metro women's team, coached by Tony Lagahitau. Assistant coaches Delisha Wipa, and this is the Manukau Raiders women's team.
Yeah, and we'll just pull out a few names here because they're stacked full of players. Number 6, Jamie Colossi, watch out for her. Number 4, Charlotte Davis, and of course 13, Taya Antonovic.
Here we have the Manukau Raiders tapping off, going from right to left on your screen. Just off the ball, we've got Vic Pune with the ball. Got good footwork, all right to left over the court. Oh, just couldn't quite finish it there.
Yeah, maybe just a quick surprise play there, just with a right to left early on a long ball, which is what Vic Pune is known for.
Yeah, nice, and there's a change over there.
So Metro will yard it out. Our first glimpse of what their yardage pattern will be, or transition. A nice wee skip away for Molly there.
Yeah, nice work.
And Molly was one of the players who was away with the youth team in Kuala Lumpur for New Zealand, so she's got a lot of experience, even though she's a young player out there.
I think that's the beauty of this competition, is just seeing our New Zealand 16s right up through to the Touch Blacks, all in the same comp, some in the same teams.
Well, that's a good defensive set from the Raiders, because they've kept them well off their line, so again, it'll be up to them to transition out.
Yeah, I like the look of this transition work here from the Raiders girl. South Auckland checking back in. Nice rhythm.
We got Elise Conway coming in on the ball with Colossi, and these two, you know, they've been to school together, they've played provincial together, so their combination will be really slick, although the ball was on the ground for a while there. I'm not sure if Jamie knew that she was meant to be there at dummy half. A good defence there by the Metro side.
Straight, and we're just going end to end. We're kicking off this first women's game of the morning. There's Latoya, and Latoya has a lot of time on her hands. Marching up the field there for the Auckland Metro. On come the fresh subs. Here's Jazz Smith.
I like the look of the Manukau link there. She came up really early and stopped them from coming on.
Going through the hands there. Good ploy too, also from Auckland, so they're finishing in that far side corner. Going to make the Manukau Raider girls move the ball all the way over to get the fresh legs off. There's Colossi in at half, just, oh, unlucky, just left early.
Neither side really getting 5-5 yet, so just pushing the feelers out, making sure they've got their clean dumps.
There's young Zadie, Sarah Baldwin, coming through. She's definitely a talent coming through the junior ranks. Oh, look at Charlotte Davis' footwork. Look at the chase here in the corner.
Yeah, a nice wee play there by Charlotte, and involving Edwards Rua there on the wing.
That's another set completed. It's probably going to be the team like we saw in the first game. The amount of errors, that's good yards from Aria, buying her team a bit of time, going away from the box.
Again, the first game of the day for both these women's teams, so we'll see how long it takes for either of them just to find their feet. But we find Latoya coming in, she'll head straight for that middle channel.
Just checking off again here.
Nice wee dump set up on that last play, so we'll have the pick and offload early, but a great sting touch there from Calais, I think they're in the middle for the Raiders.
Good from both sides, so the Aucklanders went through the hands, so they drawn pass, and then the Manukau Raiders girls just put enough pressure on the last pass.
So we have Taya driving towards her box and 3 nice positive touches up the sideline, and that's given them a repeat set early on.
Yeah, and lovely player to watch, Taya. Very well balanced, stays fit, and a really good role player.
Yeah, she's dynamic and she demands a lot of her players around her.
On the ball, Jessica Maha. Yeah, she's looked sharp in the first round too.
She did.
Yes.
That first round, I watched a lot of her, and she's done really, really well. And that footwork, she's added a lot to this Raiders side.
I think it's good too for her, going and playing under different coaches, along with different players at provincial level. Oh, that's a beautiful read from the winger.
There's actually, Latoya coming in there
Excellent
from
read.
that link spot, especially on the players and the likes of Savannah and Jess, because their speed off the mark.
And really experienced too, Daryl. The adjudicator out there, he's been around many, many years. Controls a really clean game.
Yeah, it's nice to see some of the local refs from the South Island and Canterbury here especially getting their chance to perform at this level and on the stage.
Yeah, they get it just as much as an opportunity as the players. So here goes Latoya going for a nice strike plant. We could just come back open side. Looks like Highland just finding the right runner.
Yeah, Highland's a really good player. Again, she played in the Youth World Cup also, but watching her from that last PTL, the first round, I think she added quite a lot to this Metro side.
Yeah, and I think they've identified, between her and Aria, who's the best person on the back end, who's the best person probably for the low game. So they've got some nice combinations already set.
Now, this is a good setup because Calais just getting in behind the defensive line. Just not aware of the touch count there, but the way she came out of that box and got in behind Aria, it really set them up for a nice strike dump.
Another player at the Youth World Cup also, young Miss Huru, playing here with the Raiders. So here we have Metro, it's 0-0. First 5 minutes, and these ladies are just going at Jazz Smith, got really nice footwork, background cheerleading, so stays nice and fit.
Yeah, she's adds quite a lot of energy, Smith, on the ball, but in the channel again, being able to pick up that pass.
Yeah, it just seems to be just normal for some of these players. Defensively, they'll get on side and then they'll move into space.
So the Raiders, opting to head to their box early. Shah Davis on the ball. She's a little general out there. She directs her players.
And she's looking sharp, Shah.
She doesn't look like she does much things with speed. It's just small pace footwork, but look, the gap just opens up.
Yeah, I guess you could tell, Shah, from the first touch of the ball, man, Shah is looking very sharp. And the players are just doing as they asked.
Yeah, and it's really, the Metro side, they know Shah and they know what she can do. And sometimes that creates a little bit of anxiety on that defensive line and just giving her that hole through the middle. She didn't even really have to wind up that long ball left to right. It was just a medium-sized pass. So.
And credit also to Tamika Flavel. Beautiful power plant or final dump there to create that option. Worked off the ball also.
Yeah, it's nice to see Tamika back on the field with her teammates. A lot of them play together with counties.
Here's a strike play coming. Latoya's on the field. Both the sisters, Aria, Tainui McIntyre, they got plays for days, these girls.
I'm sure they've got a wee backyard play that they've practiced all the time, but opting for the quickie and then the quick release off to that long in the corner.
Just waiting for the call, unsure on the call there. So we've got both the on-field and the sideline recount. Yep.
So Clemis there with the roll ball. They've got another set of 6. Bringing it back to the middle. Now these two will obviously try and get that quickie play.
Yeah, Aria's so good at it too.
She'd be one of our top female players in that quickie role. She's really hard to defend. She doesn't need a lot of pace.
And I know it was a joy to be able to work with her with the NRL stuff, with the Warriors. Oh, great hands.
Yeah, I think actually if Latoya had just had that step off the right foot and under, she would have gotten, because the defence through the middle, they hadn't latched in.
Back to Aria. Just working in tandem here, moving the defence.
So you've got Jessma in the middle there. She's quite a strong defender through the middle, but they're going to get another chance on the line. Now, you'd be expecting the strike to hit here, wouldn't you? Because this is the third set that they've had.
And if you're unsure why these penalties are, you can't move forward and then suck back into the 5, as we call. Once you're outside the 5, you're meant to stay out there.
So Jess is actually doing a mountain of work in the middle there. She's had to go side to side, a lot of shuttle work.
Yeah, good work.
It's
We've
nice
got
to
some talent out there on defence too.
It's nice to see Savannah in there in the middle as well. She's quite often in a link role.
Just trying to pull in that defence. Oh, yeah.
That's a big win for, I would say, Jess and Savannah, because the amount of work that they had to do in that middle channel, knowing full well the capabilities of Latoya and Ari there.
They work together a little bit with the Warriors women's team, but probably not in those positions. But Jess is looking really good at the start of the season.
You look at the footwork of Savannah. She's really fast out of that channel. You underestimate her speed.
Here's Jamie just trying to organise things. Just need a solid platform here. Yeah, and they unfortunately didn't get the back end of the set right.
Yeah, a good defensive set by Metro there, because they held them well off the line. What they need now is just to drive out and get good field position. Nice positive touch in the corner there. And that's Lisa Edwards-Rua on the wing, doing quite a few touches for her team. Jazz Smith on the ball again, nice clean dump.
Yeah, good work, just finding a good bit of speed on the back end of the set.
Cheeky little step on the inside, but a nice connection there with the link and the wing for the Raiders.
Once they get a good target on the back end of the set, she's got good speed there. Tia Kimara from the Metro. So here we have the Raiders. They're leading 1-0 at the moment. There's nothing in this game. It's pretty much a game of set completions. Definitely the back end of the set, so that fifth and final strike dump, whoever's getting that on the money. And Taya, this is what she does well. Her and Charlotte will just manipulate this defence. Taya will drop and work off the ball, shay off her left foot, goes through, just trying to find an open attacker, and they make that look so easy, even though we know it's not that easy. Liana.
No, it's not. And, you know, the work that Taya does there, she just eats up the metres so that Shah doesn't have that much, you know, she doesn't have to go too far, and they just sort of let the gates open for Shah.
Nice work, and here's the Metros going at it again. They've got the fresh legs on, nice and early. That's a good little bobble in there. That's those 1%ers. You've got to be really, really strong in the ruck here.
And we're going to find out, you know, this is the grind, and see how long this Metro side can keep up with this Raiders team.
Yeah, especially with the possession. You want to obviously limit your mistakes, and if you do turn the ball over, it's down the other end of the field.
So Taya's still in there. She's with Savannah. Jess Ma coming into the game as well. Good positive touch though, so it's limited what they can do on the last play. Lovely little goosey step there.
Yeah, good work. And just that's just experience, eh? Through the ball to the sideline, buys time to get off, reset the defence.
That's right, she's getting herself off so she can get that next defensive player on.
Oh, look at them move the ball here. Good work from Metro.
Yeah, I like to see that, and now if they can get some direct drives. But the Raiders are really getting that front foot defence. They're not letting them have the easy ruck.
No, by no means. So they left early there on the defensive side for the Raiders, and Daryl, the adjudicator, he picked that up. So they've got a fresh set of 6 just over halfway. Here's Jazz Smith, Aria. Nice punch of injection here. Leilani, good to see Leilani down here in the South Plain.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't really see her until she just came in with that little wee drive, but they're obviously using Jazz Smith there as their setter, because she's done quite a bit of work coming out of that box. Latoya on the sweep.
Yeah, they just held off a bit, the Raiders, but that's where the touchdowns are going to come from. They're going to come from the Tainui-McIntyre combination.
I think I'd like to see the Metro girls offer a little bit more on the outsides, because they have got the right play. It's just the options aren't there for that the ball carrier.
Look at this flow too, coming from the Raiders. Just this back end here, just getting a little bit lost at times. That's what she needs, nice direction. Here's Colossi on the ball. She's got nice speed, good footwork.
And that's a good play for Colossi, just the smarts. You know, she's heard the offside player, so she's running at her. And this is a good combo here, these two girls. They're very young, you know. both still at high school.
I think too, it's good to see young Jamie like leading a combination. Yeah, that's a good read.
Just the smarts of Latoya to get up nice and early.
There's Tamiki out there also. Also experienced. These young girls have had some big opportunities.
So we've got the sweeper, quick release off the deck. That's a killer really, because you don't want to give this Raiders side 3 sets on the line.
No, and they're getting done for leaving early, just before dummy half's picking up the ball.
So Poine's come into the game now sitting in the right link position.
Great read from the winger here on our sideline. Shifting the ball back to Colossaire. Organising here, looks like Vic's at half. Vic will pick. Yeah, go through.
That was a nice wee change up, because it looked a little bit disorganised, but actually Jamie knew that she wasn't going to half. She was just making that motion as if she was, and then Vic on the ball, as you'll see in the replay here, managing to scoot through and a nice support.
Just got it away before she hit the touchline, so it's a nice finish there. With the mounts and the weight of possession that they've had this half, to keep them to only 2 so far, the Metro have done quite well.
Yeah, that's right, and also the Metro have had their opportunities as well, so I'm sure at halftime they'll be having a chat about that.
Nice little check off here.
So Anderson involved just with that play there at number 15.
Yeah, looks like Edmonds, Lagahitau's out there on the ball at half.
So just a sweep there and a different change of point of attack going on the link, which I think was unexpected from that Raiders side.
Yeah, Edmonds, Lagahitau and Tia Kemara working together well. And that combination, very young combination. All the timing was beautiful, wasn't it, Liana?
Yeah, and we haven't actually seen that play come off today, so it's been nice. It's just a simple sweep that we would normally do in the middles, but they changed the point of attack to get the link.
Yeah, and that's probably coming from Tony Lagahitau. He's got many, many years of experience.
So the Raiders, they'll have their chance for a tap off here. We've got Jess in on the ball early with Savannah. So those two working really well, and Tamika supporting them there. You don't want to let her run. Oh, that was a touchdown. Just needed to catch that and put the ball on the grass. But they're going to give the change over to Metro.
And that was a real heads-up play from Savannah. Saw the opportunity and took it.
That's actually what she's known for, isn't it? She's not a structured player. She likes to have that chance to express herself. Eyes up footy.
Well, she won a big game for the Warriors woman right on the hooter against the Tigers from a heads-up play.
So Metro are going to have their chance down here. Edmonds, Lagahitau, she's going to be involved.
I like how she has the ball in 2 hands. Eyes up. She's still only young, I think 16 years old.
Yeah, young player. Most of the teams I like the mix-up of the experience and the youth, and exposing the girls to this level of touch.
Well, I think if we didn't have this, if this PTL wasn't around, there wouldn't be these opportunities for your under-16s development players to be able to play with touch blacks.
And consistently, that's always been our problem in New Zealand. We're waiting for those big national tournaments, but we need the consistency, and this is obviously offering that.
Most definitely, and also having the opportunities for these great coaches that we have also throughout all the franchises for the PTL, and those that are waiting in the wings to get a franchise up for the next coming season.
Yeah, that's right. I like seeing Jamie out there. She's so vocal, you know, like you said, she's a young player, although not with experience. She's had a lot of experience, but she's really vocal and telling her teammates what she wants.
One of those people that are present in a game, you know, they're present in the sport, watched her play netball, same thing, always present. And we got the opportunity to coach her with the Warriors this year, and another young player that, you know, really, really grateful to see them grow through the sport. Here we go, on the back end, here's Highland. We need to see her more of this. Goes through, beautiful finish. And she's great on the back end of that set.
And that all came down to that orange zone transition, and credit to Kemara. I think it was her on the big drive earlier on. Lovely step off the right foot, and Molly to dot down.
Yeah, and you know, I watched young Highland when you coached her, different role. But now she's moved in, she's definitely got a bit of strike attack in her.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the more you play, the more confident you get. And for her, these aren't girls that she normally plays with. She's come up from the Waikato, and she's having to slot herself into this team, but she's finding her feet and offering something.
Charlotte's back on the field. They're looking really fresh. They've got good numbers.
It might be the white uniforms, you reckon? They look good out there, and Shah's out on the bounce-out play.
Yeah, just one of those players that, you pay to come and watch. Good timing, and really good, just look at the role model that our senior players have. They're really good role models also.
Absolutely. These girls are lovely people on and off the field. And, Metro, they did really well then because they obviously scored that touchdown. And the best thing to do after that is defend the next one. And that's what they've done. And now they've got their drive right through the middle. Edmonds Lagahitel, she's involved here. What a finish. And she deserves that touchdown, Jazz Smith. She's had a big impact in this game.
Definitely, and Edmonds and Lagahitel, all in two hands shows, skip pass through the hand. That catch and pass, that's not an easy thing to do, and it's Kimara again, that combination.
That's right, and obviously the chat in the box, by allowing these young girls to go out there and have their say on the field, it's giving them the confidence to do so.
Yeah, Latoya and Aria, the senior players, they've done awesome work there, giving these young players that confidence.
So Raiders on the attack now with the sweep, but the dummy pass choosing to go back short side, but I think the inside ball could have been on if they'd just read that earlier.
Yeah, it was a good platform. I think it was Colossi coming around on the sweep.
So Pone and Ma, who are teammates with the Auckland Province, get the dump, but the rest letting it play through, and Jess on the scoop, getting around the outside.
Wow, that's great defence right on the hooter. I was surprised that the ref played on after the hooter.
So they're going to have a chat here just to make sure. It looks like a touch and pass, which is a penalty to this Metro side, so they may opt to just play it out, or...
Yeah, and if you've just tuned in, this is the Premier Touch League. Auckland Metro taking on Manukau Raiders. It's 2-2. It's been a really exciting first half. It's taken a while for the Metro women to find their feet, but they've definitely had the better back end of that first half. Great first half by both the teams, Auckland Metro, Manukau Raiders.
Mona, I'd like to see her get involved in the game because she's actually a really good attacker.
Yeah, she's a smart player there. Here we go, Highlands on, just moving the ball up the field. They can keep it nice and direct here. Oh, dominated that ruck, look at that.
So look, Highlands looking for a pick. She's deciding to be the setter this time. Nice little play, and that was, again, what we talked about, all from the back end of that transition. It wasn't anything too tricky, just a nice drag, dump, pick, and Highland offloading there.
Yeah, when Highland come on with her, looked like, was it Tia Kimura? When they come on, they really dominated the middle of that field, that 50 zone we talked about, but it was that strike dump. She got them behind the defender, and that pretty much put them on the front foot.
So we'll have the Raiders with the tap off, and I'm sure they'll have a set play. Looks like a bit of an arrow set up.
Here's Zadie there, young Zadie, number 9.
Again, another player who could be more involved. I know she's young, but again, a lovely attacker for her youth grades. Oh, that's a shame. It looked very close to being ball down, and Jamie Colosi has a low, smooth dive. She's very hard to stop.
That was a beautiful dive.
Tamika Flavel asking for that ball. She wants to go straight away. So they're going to get a whole set
on the
6.
changeover?
I think so.
It's Jamie again taking control. She's going to get the ball back. Oh, reverse quickie.
And that's a great read by Jazz Smith there in that link channel. And I'm really liking the combination of Kimara, Potts, Jazz Smith.
Yeah, they're nice and aggressive, swinging on defence, putting good pressure on the Manukau Raiders attack. Good touches out in front.
Oh, that's a shame. But just their body positioning, the Metro girls on defence, it's pretty to watch. And if you're a young player at home watching, you know, this is the type of the shape that you're looking for on a defensive line.
Yeah, Tia Kimara, along with Edmonds Lagahitau, Imogen. These are 2 players that are definitely standing out today.
Nice little 32 play. And that's a huge win for those young girls on the defence line. They're playing against international attackers. You know, these are girls in the Touch Blacks team, and they've managed to hold them out off the line. So when they run back into that box, I'm sure their coach is going to be giving them a huge high five.
Yeah, young Ressie Anderson also just stepping up. And just compliments to Latoya. Obviously, Tony Lagahitau and Delisha, giving these girls, I know Tony's really big on roles, giving them nice roles to work with within their team. And they're just going right up the middle there. There goes Aria. Scoop on the end, good work.
So probably what just didn't help then was the first 3 touches off that line. It didn't really set them up for the back end of the play. However, they've completed the set of 6, and it's still a tick in the wee book.
Definitely. There goes Savannah. Just finding early meters.
The Raiders really getting to the side of the player then and getting that advantage ball, which has paid off for them because they're going to get another set.
And we have Shah just controlling the ship.
So having Taya and Shah out there at the moment, again, they're used to this combo. They'll have the play that they want to run, and it'll be down to this Metro side and Aria and her comms to hold them out. Staying alive, eyes up. Great defence though from the winger for the Metro team.
Great work. That's some sharp attack they've got on out there, so to keep them at bay. Look at Taya, beautiful pass. Oh, another nice touch there. Really liking the connection of the link and wing from the Metro.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really holding this Raiders side out. Like, they're having to work really hard, the Raiders, and manipulating this defensive line. Some of the best attackers out there at the moment that you're watching.
Here we have
Clean
Shah.
dump on the 5.
Yeah. They just were a little bit loose there defensively.
It's a shame because it's half a step, isn't it? And sometimes waiting till they get to the line, it's just too long, and they need to just take that step forward.
Yeah.
Good persistence, though, from Shah and Taya. You know, they knew it was going to open up, and it's just having the patience to keep working at it.
That's the Auckland Metro leading 4-3 over the Manukau Raiders. 30 minutes into the second half. Just moving the ball up the middle. Here's Latoya. Imogen Edmonds Lagahitau. She's the young star that's making a name for herself today.
Latoya just controlling the sweep there. Ooh, think that winger came so far in, it might have been on for that right to left long.
They definitely created the opportunity.
And that's just, the experience of having the ability to look out and or having the trust really in your teammates to just let it go.
Nice work here down this wing side. Both this wing and link, it's definitely been a highlight of the Metros, their connection in defence.
Here's Savannah doing what she's really good at, just those little snaky runs. She's really good at changing up the speed of her play, so she'll jog a little bit and then spy a gap and then she's off.
Yeah, tempo, changes that tempo. That was a great touch from Latoya.
Jazz coming in to help from that link position. Jamie on the pick. I think she was really lucky there, Latoya. I'd say she was a bit short of that 5.
Just smart that way, and she's real confident. When you're confident as a player, not sure what they made another error there.
Yeah, I think they have just on that turnover, so not what they'd be looking for because, again, some classy attackers in this Manukau side.
Unsure on that call from the official, but they have the ball back now.
And so Jamie's in there on the ball with the pick. Nice little quickie, giving her teammate the opportunity to have a go on the line.
Tia's working really, really hard. Definitely see she's put the work in, looking very fit. Edmonds like a hitel, touch and profile. That's good work.
And again, can't emphasise enough how good Latoya is at reading that play from the link position. Getting up nice and early, so you're not giving that player time to read what type of pass to give. Lovely little poppy play from Colossi. She had to do that though, didn't she? The number 23, Clemis.
What a save. It was a 3-woman overlap out wide and just didn't give up, effort on effort.
And that's the benefit of being up in that channel and being nice and tall, making yourself big. The defence effort on that line.
This is great defence. Colossi, you got young Zadie up there, Charlotte. There's some strike attackers with great low game. Zadie's got, hope they feed her here. She's got great footwork.
Again, good cover D there. Number 4, Kemara.
I think a phase play. They could just run a phase because they're actually forcing the Metros to shut hard.
That's right. So Shah will be looking to do that with her young teammates here. Taya on the ball. She's looking to wind up, but again, that Clemis coming in from the wing and just getting in that channel.
That's huge defence by Auckland. Here's Jazz Smith. You can just see the fitness in some of these girls. The back end, nice work from Latoya, composed. Excellent transition through the orange. Ball in 2 hands, that's Highland, working with Aria. And this is just beautiful touch.
Yeah, I love watching this sort of flowing touch. And I credit, that was a big touch. And they're lucky to get away with that. Because
that's a penalty every day of the week. I guess all you really ask for is consistency.
Absolutely. And it stopped them being able to get that pick off the ground.
Yeah. I don't think that'll be the last heavy touch we'll see in this game. But here we go. There's nothing in this game.
So it's getting quite physical out there, and it's gone back the other way. I don't know if they felt they needed to do that because of the last play, but it's going to give Metro another 6.
No one's given an inch.
So we've got Potts in there working with Aria.
This is a real opportunity. Nice range too, just trying to draw them.
Solomona, she's come into the play.
Aria, they should feed her back. Oh, yeah. That's helter-skelter defence, and that's when Aria will punish you.
And just being aware of the line, because just watching the Raiders going a step too far behind. Again, Punesh, she's played that link role a lot. If you watch her, she starts well behind the line, so she only has to go back 1 step.
Yep, very clever, and just holding also. That's better range from the Metros.
I think they just congested that side, the Metro team. They were playing within about 7 metres of the sideline.
Yeah, and that 5 metre line looks really short. I guess we're used to playing with the 7 metres now, which is a new international law that's coming in. But here we go, Manukau Raiders. The game is, Savannah's eating up the metres this game. It's Tamika.
Good positive touch coming in from Potts.
Yeah, that's pressure. They're really getting in their face now. You can see the body language as players are coming out of the sub box. It's obviously coming from the coaches.
That's right. And it's still grinding away, both teams. There's still 7 minutes to go and plenty to happen. But you get the sense that the Metro have got a little bit more urgency, not only in their defence, but in the way they transition out.
Yeah, they're doing this really well. There's a little bobble at half.
Yeah, lucky to get away with that.
And I have no doubt Lance Flavel, the coach, has told his group to pick up the energy also. Here's Potts. She just gets a nice strike dump in here. Here goes Lagahetel Edmonds. Oh, it's good work from the young girl.
Yeah, she's had the double punt there, and her and Kemara work really well. I've been really impressed with the number 4 there, Tia Kemara.
Transition, and we're back to this end-to-end touch that we like to see. There's Sarah Baldwin, Huru moving forward, Lisa, Edwards Rua, all sharing the workload really well.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders will be used to playing this type of catch-up game this late in the match. Shah's going to opt to pick here.
Good work again.
Just everyone working for each other, and that's what's sort of helping this Metro team, and it's getting them across the line. Now they just look to yard out, ruck hard, and the person you want on the ball is that Jazz Smith, because she can eat up the metres.
Yeah, totally. And I know, the players, the experience they get in it being at airports 5, 6 o'clock this morning, coming down to the beautiful South Island and playing some touch. It's just an experience you can't get anywhere else.
So Aria's looking in. She might set for Potts here, right on the 5. Quick offload, left to right.
Aria's looking dangerous at the back end of this half.
Where they look lethal, this Metro side, is when they get that beautiful in transition, and on the last have that lovely drag, drop, and the pick. I think they just go for that.
And they're really pushing hard now. I think we're going to see the fitness side and probably the mental fitness of these players come through.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Raiders come out of the box with a bit of energy, looking for those gates, and that's what Savannah's really good at. But what's really stopping them there, just as an example, is Solomona just reading, sitting in that overwatch, hanging out wide, stopping them from getting across to the middle of the field, again in that channel.
They're really lucky to get away with that. There's nowhere for you to go, really, when you're in that lane.
It's kind of used to sort of blindside the attackers as they're coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But they've got an opportunity here, the Raiders, and they don't need too many invites.
You don't want to let Savannah step around too many players, because she will find that gap, whether you think it's there or not. Right, Jess around on the sweep, giving her the play. I think she might have had her on the outside if she'd just maybe gone a little lower earlier.
And I'll tell you what, the players are having a big influence on trying to manipulate these officials also on what they think. Look at that scoop, Vic. Oh, unfortunately she ran dead. Oh no, it's the black line. No, she's still in.
Yeah, I think they're really testing the officials there and getting...
It's very confusing. I'm not sure if you can see on the TV, but it's the actual black line that is the actual touchdown.
That's right, and you're hoping the officials have had a chat about this and walked the field. It's important to know where the touchdown lines are, where the 5 metre is. And as you can see from our images, there are 2 lines there, but we're actually going for the black line.
It's very unfortunate for Vic and the Raiders team, because we're all playing on the black line. That white line there is very confusing.
She's going to get through again. Lovely offload. Oh, probably a bit early to push that pass. Patience is required, and this is where the leaders for this Raiders side, like Taya and Shah, they're going to have to calm the nerves. There's still 3 minutes to go, plenty of time.
They just got to complete their set here. They don't have to, they just can't afford to make those little errors.
Unnecessary, really, because she'd actually found the back of the gate. All she had to do was dump the ball cleanly.
Yeah, and just trying to find a couple extra metres when probably didn't have to.
So this is good pressure, still pushing up from the middle for the Metro side, but it's going to ask a lot of them to be able to defend this set out. If you're the Raiders coach at the moment, you're sending out your top dogs, aren't you, your strike players, and there they are, Shah and Kolosi. Beautiful hands in the corner. And that's just having the trust to release that ball from Kolossi.
And that's probably due to justice from that. Unfortunately, the ref called the player run dead when she was still in it. So, but she disguised us well, Jamie.
Like you said, she's just come off her netball tournaments and nationals, and it's almost like that fake pass, isn't it? Looking one way, passing the other.
And there was a great pickup also from the winger in the corner. So it's all squared up, 4-all.
So we've got a big 2 minutes coming up in this match. And Metro will be looking to do the same thing. Unfortunately, they've just had the turnover because they would have been looking to get their strike players out there. They're going to have a big defensive set now.
Yes, definitely. And, well, it's come down to errors, I think, in the back end. Both teams, for different parts of this game, have been really, really solid. Really great level that's on display also for the first women's game this morning.
That is a physical touch, isn't it? Might have been a bit of you at the World Cup. That would have been a red, you reckon?
It depends who was running. But, yeah, I knew that wasn't going to be the last strong touch we saw in the first half. But here we go, hot on attack. This is probably where the game's going to be won with the defensive units here. Teo on the ball. His corner's there.
I was just going to say, you can
Oh,
see.
great touch.
Beautiful read. Calais sitting there at the link. So we've got a sweep play coming up. Calais getting around the sweep. Kolossi choosing to run a little. And good defence. I'd say Solomona has picked up her defensive rate in the second half. She's added to quite a few turnovers for this Metro side. With only a minute to go, you'd be looking just to drive out, complete your set of 6. Latoya heading over to the sub-box, getting some fresh legs on. And Potts just directing her player there. Looking for the strike dump, and she wants to have a run. It's the only option through the middle. That was her only option, though, coming out of that line. So they may get another shot at it, another 6, but they've got to defend this out. Jamie Kolossi, she's getting a lot of the physical touches on her. She's a strong girl, though, and a tall target. She's looking to sub. And Savannah coming on. So if you're the Metro side, you'll be wanting to slow down Savannah's pace and not let her have the run of the green. Here she goes again, and obviously Ma on the ball as well. Looking to get a good dump, get Shah involved. And that's the hooter, so Metro will be scrambling here, trying to stay man on. Beautiful touch. I think might have been on for Jess to release early because that winger did just take that step inside, but what a game. Both sides taking it right to the end of the match. 4-all. Metro versus the Raiders. And that's a big game for the Metro side because the first round of the PTLs, they had a bit of a struggle with their results. But they'll be really happy that they stayed in the match with this Raiders side. Referees having to make some tough calls out there, making sure that they get the correct lines right for the upcoming matches. But I'm sure the chat for this Metro side will be really positive, especially with the young girls, the likes of Jazz Smith. Really like the way that she controlled the early transition for her team, and then Highland Potts stepping up. It was nice to see those young girls like Kimura taking a strong role, and the likes of Latoya and Aria letting them do that and just taking a back seat a little bit. And as the game unwound, it wasn't all those short, quick plays that they were after. It actually ended up being the drag, drop picks. So I'm sure the Raiders will go away from this match, have a chat about where their improvements will need to be had. The girls just getting together. A lot of these girls play together, like I said, in the greater Auckland region. Teammates for provinces and club teams. They'll be having a chat about this match, and they'll meet each other again
just completed please
in
move
the
off
upcoming
the field.
games.
We are ready to start the next match. The teams could please move off the field. We are ready to start the next match. Thank you.
Was a draw, so
Yeah.
Okay, so like we said, the final score, a beautiful game of women's touch, 4-all, Metro versus the Raiders. Both sides having another game to play today.
Touch New Zealand's coverage of the Premier Touch League is brought to you by SAS Sport and One Foundation. Live, it's the Premier Touch League.